What is going on, everybody? It's Alex back with another video, and today I want to talk about GTA 6, but more specifically GTA 6 roleplay and how I think it could be incorporated into the game. So if you've been living under a rock and you haven't seen how roleplay is incorporated into GTA, it's basically mods and there's dedicated servers where you can roleplay and act however you want to act in a GTA world. There are plenty of different servers that focus on different things, but essentially you start off with a character, you can get a job, you can buy a house, you can do all this stuff like you would in real life, and you kind of go about your world how you would want to. You can play it by the books where you're actually, following street traffic rules. You can, do everything exactly how you should. You can be a criminal, you can rob banks, you can do anything you want. It's actually kind of crazy how in-depth some of these mods are and the amount of things you can actually do. It's really blowing up, and recently it's kind of gotten to the mainstream, but in reality, GTA RP has been around for a while, at least a few years. I know my first introduction to it about a year ago was when one of my really good friends started playing it. I had just set him up with a PC, and basically he found out about it and started playing it. I remember he was telling me about all these things that he was doing. He was so excited because he just got his first job as a farmer, but he didn't really like it, so he wanted to apply to be a taxi driver. I had never heard of GTA RP, and the fact that he was doing all this, having these real jobs, I just thought was hilarious. He was talking about all of these scenarios where he was getting robbed and all of this stuff, and how he wanted to start selling meth, and I mean, it was just absolutely ridiculous to me. People took it so seriously, and everyone just seemed to be completely immersed in this roleplay. I thought it was really strange and interesting, but kind of cool at the same time. He seemed to kind of move away from it a little bit, or at least stop talking about it, and I kind of forgot about it for a while. That wasn't until people started talking to me more and more in my live streams about asking if I would play it or not. It's never been something that I figured I would delve into too much, but it's something that I always kind of kept in my mind, and that is until it started blowing up on Twitch. Now, once again, GTA RP has been on Twitch. It's been around for a while, and I remember back when I used to do open lobbies in GTA, all of the bigger streamers streaming GTA were doing RP, but it wasn't really until Summit 1G moved over to GTA RP to when it really hit the mainstream. Since then, it seems like all of the top streamers have been playing GTA RP, and everyone seems to really enjoy it. I mean, it's one of those things that really works out well. The creators really enjoy it because it's simple and it's different every day, and then the viewers enjoy watching it because there's so much to watch and there's so much craziness that happens. There's very clearly a large market for this, and this is kind of what we're talking about in today's video. I think there's a very high likelihood that GTA 6 will have some form of roleplay in it. I mean, if you want to get started in GTA RP, you actually have to own a copy of GTA 5 on PC. Obviously, this isn't the entire reason, but one of the reasons GTA 5 has been continuing to sell very well recently is because of people wanting to get into GTA RP. They may never even play the base game, but they buy GTA 5 so that they can download the mods and get into the RP servers. Rockstar and Take-Two has made a lot of money simply because of these mods. There's no doubt they notice this and they want to take advantage of it in a way that they can actually make money. And if you're not aware, they've actually been really helpful in bringing mods to GTA 5 in itself. There are so many single player mods that they are fully in favor of, and they've even talked about bringing them to consoles as well. Obviously, when it comes to online mods, it's a lot more difficult, but not impossible. I'm not going to be referring it to any articles or videos in particular because honestly, there hasn't been any concrete evidence. But over the past 2 months or so, there have been countless leaks and rumors about GTA 6 actually having some aspect of roleplay in it. And obviously, this is pertaining to online, not single player. And I would go on to speculate that, yeah, without a doubt, there will be some form of roleplay, even if it is kind of minor and just built into the actual game mechanics rather than a full system where you're actually playing with other people. For example, in GTA Online with GTA 6, I would be very surprised if you can't have jobs. And no, I don't mean jobs as in how they work in GTA 5, where you just kind of go into matchmaking, find a mission where you steal some drugs or something like that, and then you get paid. I mean a legitimate 9-to-5 job. I think you're going to be able to work at a hospital. I think you would be able to potentially even be a police officer, maybe a fireman. I think in some way, shape, or form, you will be able to have at least jobs in GTA 6. It certainly gets a lot more complicated when you see these jobs and occupations kind of work together with other players. For example, in GTA 5 RP, how it works now, there's people that work at the hospital, and then there's actual other people that get injured and they have to be taken to the hospital. So then the person at the hospital actually works on that other player. It's kind of a player-to-player experience. If someone is racing their car and they end up crashing, they bring their car to the mechanic, and another real player actually has to fix their car. This is something that I'm kind of skeptical of in GTA 6. As I mentioned, I do believe there's going to be jobs, but I'm not really convinced that the jobs are going to really be that in-depth and necessarily a player-to-player system like it is in the GTA 5 mod. It would be very interesting to see how it's going to work, though. So quickly, let me give you a rundown of what I think is going to happen. This This is kind of what I would like to see, but something that I feel is somewhat realistic. Like I've said, light roleplay implementations seem very likely to me with the success that Rockstar has seen with the actual full mods. Starting off with jobs, how I think is going to work is I think there's going to be somewhat of an AI boss. For example, if you're working at a mechanic shop, my guess is there's going to be an AI who actually owns the mechanic shop. This is your boss. He's going to give you challenges, he's going to give you quotas, there's things that you have to accomplish. Maybe he'll pay you per car that you actually fix, maybe he'll pay you a daily salary. Ideally, you would actually have to go through some kind of process to get hired, and then even if you're not performing your job, maybe you could even get fired. You know, the same thing if you're working at a farm. There would be someone who owns the whole plantation, something like that. You work for him, and then you have tasks that he gives you that you have to accomplish, and then you would actually get your paycheck at the end of the day. I genuinely feel that a system like this is pretty likely coming to GTA 6 Online. With that being said, once again, I really just don't foresee it happening in a player-to-player system like GTA 5 RP servers have. I just feel like that would be way too complicated for a game like this to actually implement. However, this is Rockstar, this is GTA we're talking about. If anyone's going to do it, it would be GTA. So maybe I'm wrong, and I would love to be wrong about something like this. Also, if you guys have ever watched a live stream of GTA 5 roleplay, you know that everyone has phones just like in GTA 5, but you can actually call people through those phones. Instead of just having a game chat, you can actually connect to one person specifically and kind of create a short-term party for that conversation. This is something that I also think is going to be implemented into GTA 6. I think there still will be game chat and things of this sort, but my guess is you'll be able to use your phone to actually call and communicate with specific people. They have the quote-unquote PayPal accounts where you can transfer money between people very easy. I think that's also going to make its way into the game. Something very important to note is that GTA games, especially GTA 5, have constant updates. Even if these ideas are implemented in the game at some point, I'm not necessarily convinced that they'll be put into the game at launch. I would like to see at least some roleplay aspects be put into there, such as the jobs, things of this sort, but I think there would be a lot of updates and making it a lot easier and more streamlined in the future. So as always, I want to open up a conversation in the comments below. There's two things I want to hear from you guys. First of all, I made it very clear that I think at least certain aspects of roleplay will make it into GTA 6. Do you agree with me? Do you think there will be some sort of GTA 6 roleplay in the actual game itself? Or do you think they'll leave that to their modding community and just kind of do the same thing that they did with GTA 5 and not take advantage of it? The second thing I want to hear from you guys is playing devil's advocate, assuming that there is GTA 6 in the actual base GTA Online. How do you think that'll work? You know, the jobs, things you would do in the world, how do you think it's going to work? What do you think that's actually going to play like? I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this. But that does it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys for the support. Peace out.
Didn't come to my birthday party, rude, but they all found time to go